Good morning, beloveds. It's raining. We got up and went for the ride, and the cars were wet when we got out, but the street wasn't. But by the time we were well into the ride, it was. I like to call it spitting because it's but I was like, oh, so it's a very light rain, but that's okay. If it would do a light rain all day, that would be enough. So, and Foster is just like, what is this noise? And we opened the windows for the first time in like months because it was cool enough, and I like the sound of the rain on the corrugated tin roof that covers our patio. So the cats are all like, oh, I don't know. All right. Well, we have an interesting title today. Oh, yes. Who is God? So Elizabeth Towne is our author, and this is published in Mind Remakes Your World, which was edited by Holmes from 1941. So, who is God? Why? You are God, and you, and you, and you, and I am God, and everybody, the whole 2 billion of us on earth, well, you can tell this was written a while ago. Everybody is God. Not one of us is alone. Not Jesus the Christ alone. He was the firstborn of many brethren. All children of one God. God, the I am of everybody on earth, or whoever was on earth or ever will be. Can I put my finger on God in me? Sure. My consciousness is God. Not a little piece of God, but the fullness of God. The same is true of you and you all around the world. The fullness of the infinite God is you, your consciousness. Not a little piece of God, but the fullness of God is you. Wow, she didn't pull any punches, does she? The fullness of... Okay. But that's what Science of Mind teaches. That's what New Thought teaches. New Thought teaches that you are God because you are of God. We teach that there is nothing but God, which means everything is made of one source of God. And the fullness of God is present at every point in its creation, which means the fullness of God is present in you. Which means we can do a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. We let ourselves limit ourselves because we have this tendency to think, well, I can't do that. You know what? If you think you can't, you're right. I think it was Henry Ford that said that. And so that's why it's important to be able to look around when you look in the eyes of another living being, not just another person, and see God looking back at you, but look in the eyes of another living being and seeing God look at you. Look at the trees and see God in form. It's like everything, even the messy stuff. It's still God in form. It just means we've made interesting choices. So wow. And the fact that she says the fullness of, but although in 1941 there were 2 billion of us on earth, and now it's 2023 and we're past 8 billion and rapidly approaching 10 billion. Wow. Not one of us is alone. Not one of us is alone. Not Jesus the Christ alone. He was the firstborn of many siblings, all children of one God. And that's one of the things that I love about Science of Mind. It's like, yeah, I understand we may use different terminology, but Science of Mind recognizes that we all talk about the same God. We are all children of the same God. What you call God and what I call God, that's not the issue here. The point is that we both call God. We both call on God. And we recognize the divinity in each other. And if we could recognize the divinity in each other, we might treat each other better and the world would be a better place. So And maybe in the long run, that's what Elizabeth Towne is getting at. If we recognize the divinity in each of us, if we recognize the divinity in every living thing, if we recognize the divinity in everything, we will make different choices. We will treat each other better. We will treat each other more kindly. We will treat each other with love. Because that's all God is. God is love. And so, yeah. It's a short one. And she straight up answered it. It's like, who is God? You, and you, and you, and you. And I think that's the beautiful thing about science of mind. We're willing to look around the world and say, you know what? It's all God. Now, how do I move through the world recognizing that it's all God? And how do I make different choices? And yeah. All right. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm just not. She laid it out there. She said it straight up. The mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to recognize the God I am in the words that you put behind it. Your consciousness is God, not a little piece of God, but the fullness of God. Your mind, your body is made of God. Your consciousness is of God. It is God. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to recognize that and to accept that. And accept the changes that it is going to encourage you to make. So, all right, beloveds, that is the mission today, should you choose to accept it. The other mission today is the same one I give you every day, which is it is the spiritual practice of self-care. To do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like for you today. Today I got up, my ankle was bothering me, but I still went for the ride. It was very important to me that I wanted to get that ride in. And I rode through the very beginnings of the rain, because I can hear it. It's actually raining now. You can see it and hear it. So I rode through that. I got my ride in. I came back, my ankle's still bothering me, and I put an ankle brace on. You know what? I'm going to take the accommodations that I need to take care of myself. And that is what I mean by loving, kind, and compassionate. I could grit my teeth and work through the pain. You know what? I don't have to. So I'm going to take those accommodations and be grateful for them. That I have these things that can help support me until I figure out what's going on with this body of mine. I'm going to take care of it. It is my vehicle that allows me to do what it is that I'm here to do, which is to have amazing experiences and some not so amazing experiences occasionally. But when I say to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate, it can be as simple as taking a deep breath before you speak. It can be to turn to your partner and say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on with me. I just need you to watch out for me a little bit more. Okay. It can look like, and that, that's the conversation that I had this morning, along with putting on the ankle brace. It can look like, taking a walk, taking a nap, taking a bike ride, dancing in the rain, taking a vacation, making plans, then actually doing them. It can look like, taking, eating dessert first, which if you've paid any attention to any of these, then you know that means to not save the good stuff. I do believe that chocolate is the first step to fixing anything, but it means don't save the good stuff. Go ahead, and we don't know how long we've got. So make the ordinary extraordinary a little more often. Use the fancy dishes and the fancy glassware and the fancy silverware. Wear the fancy clothes. Or not, fancy clothes. You're going to catch me in jeans and a t-shirt most of the time. So, wear what you want to wear. no matter what the situation is. You know, do you, boo. And then I'm also going to remind you that joy is a quality of God. You are the fullness of the I am. That means joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you deserve joy. So I'm encouraging you to make room for it. Now, I want to remind you, yes, these are good suggestions that I say every day for your benefit, but I also do that for mine, because occasionally I need to be reminded joy is a quality of me, and I need to make room for it. So, don't think I'm just talking to the wind. I'm talking to myself too. All right, beloveds. The rest of the suggestions are the basic easy ones. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you today. Drink plenty of water. Today's it. Yesterday may have been the last day we see 90 degrees. I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope. So, yeah. Yes. But I'm still going to drink plenty of water. Hydrate. Your brain works better when it's hydrated. Your body works better when it's hydrated. Your skin looks better when it's hydrated. Whatever, I can appeal to you to drink plenty of water. I'm also going to remind you to get early in your day bright light. Well, you know what? It's raining out there, so there is no sun. Artificial light will help too. It may not help with the vitamin D the way that sunlight does, but it will help with the hormone balance, that circadian rhythm. So get that 5 to 10 minutes of early in your day bright light, especially if you get up before the sun, early bright light. It will help to reset those circadian rhythms. You have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. All right. And it's science. You can look it up. Last one is my Ernest Holmes quote: open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time. It's all around us all the time. What does that mean? Everything is God. There is one source. That's what Elizabeth was talking about today. The fullness of God exists right where you are. You are surrounded by God all the time. Okay? And if that doesn't rock you back on your heels, you're not paying attention. Jesse's working from Evelyn Underhill. And that's exactly what she keeps saying. You're not paying attention. If you're not rocked by, you're not paying attention. So go out, and I like to take pictures of the moon night pictures of the moon are weird, but it's been up during the day. So I've been taking pictures of the moon, and I'm watching the trees change color, and I'm watching my neighbors start to decorate for Halloween. I'm paying attention. I encourage you to try it. It's all God. And you can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Okay? When we talk about it's all God, it's a reminder that heaven, Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. As Elizabeth Towne was talking about, your God is your consciousness. That means that heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. So when we look for the good and praise it, we are acknowledging that heaven. When we are paying attention, we are acknowledging that consciousness. And we are going, heaven isn't a place I have to get to. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It can be any place I am if I make room for it. All right, beloveds. Okay, deep breath. I'm at the social media part. I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center of Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So I encourage you to go and, look at that stuff. There are hours of content on the Facebook pages. There are hours of content on the YouTube channels. If you need it, we probably have it. I read you my favorite book by Ernest Holmes. I read This Thing Called You because I think it should be out there. And if reading is not your favorite thing to do, you can listen to it. All right. Okay. And if you want to know what's going on with Center, email info@creativelife.org. It'll get you on the Constant Contact, and the Constant Contact, those hot links are hot. It says click here now. It'll take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. So, all right. I'm now at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A good day. A recognize the fullness of God day. A look in your own eyes and see God looking back at you day. A dance in the rain day. Or go for a ride in the rain day. A turn your headlights on day. A, as I have said, good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. That's what Elizabeth was talking about today. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're a godling. Know the truth of your being. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of who you have been told you are by religion, by culture, by gender, by, people that love you, and by people that don't know you. Peel back all of those layers and get to know who God knows you to be. I can promise you that that person is good. And that person is really cool. So go get to know that person. Go sit in your meadow and in front of the source of your own being and ask that to show you who you are. I believe you will be surprised, pleasantly surprised. And hopefully you will be rocked back on your heels, as I like to say. All right, beloveds. I am going to move into the process of my day. I'm going to remind you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.